areas, and work with local law enforcement, medical providers, and other agencies to develop transportation routes, share information, arrange shelter, and much more.
So, Jamaica, I really hope that you guys enjoyed our feature here today on the Jamaica Fire Brigade. So this was CVM's Watch the Weather. Make sure that you tune in for more exciting and insightful experiences here with us. I'm Leopold.
I'm Michaela.
See us for more.
For the money, brand new thing. Hold a box of baby burgers, roll up a Burger King, baby burgers. Wow, the taste. The time at BK Baby Burgers is
12 p.m.
Thanks for joining us for CVM News at Noon for this Thursday, August 13, 2026. I'm Amoy Harriet. Up first this afternoon, opposition spokesman on human rights Isaac Buchanan is coming under fire over comments he made about residents affected by a controversial pre-dawn demolition exercise in Trelawny. Buchanan raised concerns about the impact of the demolition, while also suggesting that some residents who were not affected should portray themselves as victims to benefit from the government's housing program. The comments have drawn condemnation from State Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Abka Fitzhenley.
Opposition spokesperson on youth and human rights, Isaac Buchanan, is condemning the demolition of homes in Cooper's Pen, Trelawny and St. Thomas. Buchanan is calling on the government to provide immediate assistance to the families left homeless. The Trelawny demolitions took place early Tuesday morning when a crew arrived shortly after 3 a.m., reportedly detaining more than 20 men before tearing down the homes. Residents say they were given no prior notice and had no opportunity to remove their belongings, with many losing their homes and life possessions in the demolition. Buchanan is now urging the government to provide urgent relief and support to those affected by the demolition exercises.
I therefore call upon the government to immediately provide the following: emergency housing assistance for every affected family, social intervention and welfare support, counseling services, particularly for children and vulnerable persons, assistance to replace essential belongings destroyed during the demolitions, and a comprehensive resettlement plan for families who have been displaced. I further call for transparency regarding the circumstances surrounding the demolitions and the conduct of the security forces involved.
However, a recent voice note has been circulating with what is believed to be Isaac Buchanan, reportedly encouraging residents of Trelawny who were not affected by the demolition exercise to make it appear as though they had been impacted.
Prime Minister have to keep cabinet meeting and know that she have to give on the back of the house. And we now ease up off of them neck. Because government are creatures of the Constitution. And the human rights run this, the humans run this. Wanna bet me if you think I lie, me I tell. So all someone who never up there, take all 1 foot on the bed, broke it off and carry it up there and say, see where left ya? Yeah. Choppy line pan them, cause anybody were in a dark the place where them bulldoze ya, have to get back a house out of government. And it now gonna be no trailer. Bet say you get land.
State Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Abka Fitzhenley, has since condemned the reported statement of the opposition spokesperson on youth and human rights.
For the opposition spokesman to be using this unfortunate situation to be encouraging people to feign damages to property, an attempt to con the government of Jamaica out of resources, is unbecoming of a lawmaker, and it is a disgraceful statement for any individual to make. Hopefully Mr. Buchanan is able to introspect and understand that it is not helpful to be promoting conmanism and Sanfaism in society.
Minister Fitz-Henley further noted that teams have been mobilized to assist the residents impacted by Tuesday's demolition.
First of all, it must be said that the government of Jamaica, and the prompting of no one external, but the directive of Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, has mobilized pertinent agencies and departments under the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. And indeed, ODPEM has been activated to assist as best as possible Jamaicans in Trelawny who were affected by the demolition exercise. We recognize the nature of the circumstances they face, and the agencies have been directed to assist as best as possible.
Trelawny Hamilton, CVM News.
Jamaica's worsening drought is putting increasing pressure on the country's water supply, with restrictions on non-essential use set to begin next Monday. But with no clear end in sight, questions remain about how long the measures will be necessary and when the island can expect meaningful rainfall. More details in this report.
Restrictions are set to take effect on August 17, affecting residents in Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas, St. Mary, Portland, St. Anne, and St. Catherine. Speaking on CVM's lead story Prime Tuesday, National Water Commission NWC Corporate Public Relations Manager Delano Williams says the measures are necessary to preserve the country's water supply.
Sometimes, as you said, two sides of the story in that next to 2 months, you would be saying to me, if I allow you to wantonly use it, that you, Delano, and your team saw that we were running low and you said nothing about it. And so the installation or implementation of the regulations in July, the Mona network adding to that in August, and now the prohibition notice is really our way of saying conservation is key. The restrictions are for the greater good of helping everybody that's on our network, both in Kingston and in all of these parishes.
Williams says there is no definite timeline for when the prohibition order will end, as that will depend on improvements in weather conditions.
The prohibition for us will last until things improve. We can't say yet because, as Evan just pointed out, we are still seeing a prediction that says the next few months, or at least the next month or two, will be pretty dry. Now, we are guided by rainfall, or we're influenced by rainfall. That rainfall is what replenishes the river sources and the spring sources that our systems rely on to distribute water.
The Meteorological Service of Jamaica, meanwhile, is cautioning the island could also experience extreme temperature levels similar to those recorded in the past. Principal Director Evan Thompson says staying cool and hydrated will be crucial as temperatures rise.
The temperature is likely to be a little above the norm. So we should expect temperatures to continue to rise at least for another few weeks. May start to decline after that, but should still remain on the upper side of what is normal. So we are expecting more of those high temperatures. And, you know, with the kind of drivers that we're seeing in the climate, it seems that we could even approach some of the extremes that we've experienced in the past. The important thing is to do whatever you can to keep cool. If you can stay indoors, stay out of the direct sunlight. That is one of the things that will help. Shaded areas, I want to say keep hydrated, but if we're going to be restricting their use of water, it's going to be difficult to keep hydrated. But we have to keep our bodies hydrated. We do have to imbibe some amount of water.
As the drought continues, the NWC reminds preserving the available water supply remains critical.
To other news now, police have arrested and charged a Portmore construction worker for allegedly having a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old girl who was reported missing. The police have identified the alleged perpetrator as 49-year-old Craig McIntosh. He has been charged with sexual assault of a person under the age of 16. Police say McIntosh, who was among a team of workers repairing Hurricane Melissa damage to the Manning School in Westmoreland. Reports are the accused met the minor on Facebook before allegedly persuading her to travel with him to St. Elizabeth, then on to Westmoreland. It's alleged both the construction worker and the teen were living in one of the classrooms on the Manning School compound in Savannah-Lamar. An operation was carried out at the school compound earlier this week, where McIntosh was taken into custody and subsequently charged. The minor is now in the custody of the state. Meanwhile, detectives attached to the Westmoreland Police have arrested and charged a bike taxi operator following the seizure of illegal ammunition in Revival Community, Westmoreland, earlier this week. The accused has been identified as 40-year-old Dane Pringle from Brighton District in the parish. Reports are that on Monday afternoon, a team of police were conducting operations in the area when they saw Pringle traveling on his motorcycle and signaled him to stop. Pringle complied but attempted to flee the scene shortly after, but was quickly apprehended. A search was carried out on his person and 8 7.62 cartridges used in an AK-47 rifle were discovered. Pringle was taken into custody and subsequently charged on Wednesday for unauthorized possession of ammunition. It's now time for a break, but stay with us. More when we come back.
To pass your CSEC CAPE exams to get that dream job or to qualify for university? Then Distinction College is the school for you. We have locations in Kingston, Spanish Town, St. Elizabeth and Ocho Rios. Start day, evening and Saturday classes this coming term and sit CSEC CAPE exams for January's resit or May-June. Maths, law, science, English. We have the lowest school fees. Register before the end of the month and win an entire term free. Call us at 354-8560.
So get up and unite for your team. Give the best we've got. It's how we play. Every part, every pitch, every part, every deal, every wicket, every soul. And the art and soul and passion, and the culture, Caribbean flows. When people come out all nation, with the team in a unification. When the stadium ram beach at the grandstand, and the meaning of unification. It's how we play. It's how we play. When the stadium ram beach at the grandstand, and the meaning of unification. It's how we play.
Hi, I am Candy Pang.
What a guan?
What a guan?
That a guan, pa.
What a guan? What a guan?
What a guan? Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
That's a guan, pa. What a guan?
Welcome back to CVM News at noon. Now, period poverty remains a challenge for women and girls across Jamaica, with the cost and accessibility of menstrual products leaving many struggling to manage their periods with dignity. Well, joining us now for this conversation is author and founder of the Her Flow Foundation, Shelly-Ann Weeks. Good afternoon, Miss Weeks. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm trying to keep cool. It's quite warm out here. How are you doing?
It is very hot. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Now, talk to us. How serious is period poverty in Jamaica right now?
Period poverty has become an obstacle. And I say obstacle because it stops some young girls from going to school, from managing their periods with dignity. And it's also stopped their mothers from being able to function and provide for her family, and just being able to move around feeling clean and feeling like you're a proper human being. And I know that there's a lot of conversation around the products, but it's not just the products, it's also infrastructure. Infrastructure in the way of proper classroom facilities, proper equipment, the water, running water, just being able to access a space where you can manage your period, which is a regular, normal bodily function. And also the knowledge, the education. It is so interesting that a lot of people don't realize how little girls are taught about their bodies before they start having a period. Some of them, this thing just happened and they just have to deal with it and move on with their life. And there was no actual education around periods. So period poverty is a real issue. And I'm so happy to see the conversation increase across different platforms. So thank you for having this conversation today.
Yes, earlier you said it's not just the products is the issue. When you say products, is it that the cost of sanitary products is simply too high for low-income families?
Well, listen to me now. People are talking about this war in Iran that is going on, and they complain that the gas prices are going up. But newsflash, we import our menstrual products. So whatever impacts gas also impacts menstrual products. So yes, the cost of menstrual products are going up. And low-income families feel it the most because they don't have as much income to flex whenever the prices of necessities go up. And yes, menstrual products are also necessities. I know we know about food, I know we know about water, but put menstrual products in the lineup there too, because it is an essential product that is required for women and girls to manage their period every single month.
How much of a role does taxation play though in making menstrual products unaffordable?
Well, thankfully, one legacy that the only female prime minister we have ever had left was she removed the consumption tax from menstrual products in Jamaica. I think there's still a import duty of maybe 20%. I might be, if somebody can just double check that for me, that is paid when the products are being imported. So that is still there. But the consumption tax has been removed. So individuals don't pay the consumption tax, GCT, on menstrual products. But it's not just the taxation. I think we also need to recognize that some people have to use different, so sometimes 2 products at a time. So they're not just buying that 1 pack per cycle. They have to buy multiple packs because of the heaviness of their periods. So it is a cost, and it's a cost that continues to increase, especially in this climate that we have going on now.
Ms. Weeks, do you think that sanitary products need to be treated as an essential item rather than a luxury as it is now in some cases?
Well, look here now. Why you want me to misbehave on the people on TV? Luxury? What do you mean? Periods are natural. Periods is something that we need. Lots of conversation around the decline in birth rates, not recognizing the connection that having a monthly period has to do with fertility. If every human being stopped having a period right now, say goodbye to the human race. Periods should be treated as a necessity because that's what it is. So whatever is needed to manage our period should be treated as such. There's no conversation about whether or not menstrual products are necessary. They are bare essentials. We saw in the aftermath of Melissa when lots of people were getting food. People were trading food for menstrual products. I got so many calls from places that say, listen, nobody bring no more canned food. Bring pad. That is how important menstrual products are. And by the way, for the persons who are having treats, back to school activities, all of those things, please include menstrual products in your care packages.
And in conversations you've had with young girls, what tends to happen for those girls who they cannot afford the sanitary products when they have to attend school?
Well, you know, they have gotten so interesting and so innovative. I've seen girls use discarded fabric to make makeshift menstrual products. I've seen girls take paper towels and fold them a special way. I went to a school where the guidance counselor, in her efforts to help the girls, take her own money out of her pocket and buy a jumbo roll of paper towels, hand towels, and show them how to fold it in a special way, and that is what they have to use. Now, thankfully, since her flow started 10 years ago, we have been distributing products to schools. We have plans to go into a number of schools when the schools resume in September, and that is a part of the outreach that we do, because we know that in a lot of the expenses that parents have to pay whenever they are getting ready to go back to school, sometimes they simply don't think about periods. Parents, they need period products too. Make sure your child have a period kit, and in her period kit she has products, she has a clean underwear, she has some tissue, and she has some way to clean her hands, whether they get her hand sanitizer, soap, whatever. But that's the basics. Make sure she has that when she's going back to school.
You said that there are young girls who are in school and they have to be using fabric and in some instances toilet paper. Is it that our schools aren't doing enough to help our young girls? And is it that by extension the government isn't doing enough to address period poverty, you think?
Well, I'm of the impression that policy needs to do more, but thankfully they recently launched the menstrual health equity initiative that we are participating. We're partnering with the government and the UNICEF, the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, UNICEF, and Her Flow Foundation will be conducting a pilot program in schools that will help us write the policy that will do something about this from a policy level. And I'm so happy about that, because it is necessary. Periods should never be an obstacle to any Jamaican girl getting her education. And until we do something about period poverty, that will be the case. So big ups to the Minister of Health, Mr. Tufton, for championing the cause, because we really needed somebody in policy to take it on. And the program is going to start in short order, but we are very interested in ensuring that when next we talk about period poverty, it's a past tense verb we're using.
All right, thank you so much, Shelly-Ann Weeks, author and founder of the Her Flow Foundation. Thanks so much for joining and sharing with us this afternoon.
Thank you.
We go now to news overseas, where Israeli forces on Thursday moved against rogue settlers, laying siege to Palestinians amid unusually strong U.S. criticism, even as Israel inaugurated an emblematic settlement elsewhere in the West Bank. France 24 has the details.
An ongoing blockade of these Palestinian homes in the village of Kusra in the West Bank. Israeli settlers have been throwing rocks and stopping people from coming in or out under the watchful eye of Israeli soldiers who were sent to remove them. On Wednesday, the Israeli military condemned the settlers' actions, saying that entering and seizing Palestinian homes was illegal, reprehensible, and unacceptable activity. But that hasn't stopped the Palestinians from living in fear as they remain trapped in their homes since Sunday.
The settlers established an outpost close to the house, around 6 meters. Since that day, we've been subjected to daily attacks by settlers, day and night, and harassment on the road. They tried to cut off the water and electricity networks many times. We fix it and they cut it off again 2 days later, as well as attacking the workers who come to do the maintenance work.
Journalists on the ground were prevented from entering.
It's a closed military area. Why the settlers are there?
You have to turn around. You cannot come inside.
The U.S. ambassador to Israel, a staunch defender of West Bank settlements, which are considered illegal under international law, weighed in, denouncing the siege as an act of terror. This latest incident comes amidst a backdrop of escalating violence against Palestinians. The UN Security Council met on Tuesday to discuss the problem as the Deputy Special Coordinator for the Middle East peace process warned that settler violence had reached unprecedented levels. According to the UN, since 2023, it's risen by 130%.
And it's time now for a break, but stay with us.